Hello from Frankfurt Airport or Fraport, how we call it. I'm on my last stretch of travels. I got a few emails in the last week or so of customers asking about my US website and if we are still able to ship from the US as well. And just to give a little bit more clarification, so everything that is on my website agatebay.de will be shipped from the German inventory, and everything that is on the website agatebayusa.com is what is shipped from a US inventory. But here's the catch. Currently I don't have a full-time operation running in the US, so that is a project that I'm working on in the next few months from now. So I will be looking for a property around the Tucson area and also at least one full-time employee in order to help run my online business, to help with the online business, accounting, etc. But at a later time, we also will have a running workshop there with my own production of stones and maybe years ahead of it. Also like a polishing service, depending on how much demand there is. Also, if you do feel like you're capable of helping me grow my business in the US and you have some experience in the online segment with working with media, keeping track of orders, accounting and all that, you're welcome to send me an email to info@agatebay.de, because we will be looking for co-workers probably starting from September on with the Denver show. That's when I plan on having a full-time operation from the US continuously. And I would very much appreciate everybody who's willing to help send me a resume. So if you would like to get some beautiful agate specimens for your own collections, then you will have to shop through my German website, with shipping being done from Germany at this moment. And with that, I would say let's hop right into the cutting video of this week, which is going to be Purple Passion Agates. Don't forget to like, hype and comment under the video if you enjoy what you're seeing, and those specimens that we cut in the video and many more beautiful Mexican agates will be right up on my website as you're watching this video right now. Hello and welcome to the Agatebay YouTube channel. I am Joshua Ritter and today I have something really special for you. The special stuff today is Purple Passion Agates from northern Mexico. These are found close to the town of Colonia Lebaron, and these are naturally some of the most purple agates you can find in the entire world. I don't think there's any other location worldwide that produces this saturation of purple in any other agate. The only problem with these is that they are forming in some kind of vein situation. So often it's just a small line of agate with a large chunk of host rock. So a lot of times when you buy especially larger pieces, it could be that you feel like you're overspending because you just spent a ton of money for rock that is not even agate. This window up front here is just exceptionally beautiful. This agate does have a couple more windows. You can see one here at the side and a few smaller ones up top here. This window here extends a little bit more to this side, and then this I assume is another big window which is covered by this layer of crystalline calcite. So I will make the cut next to this window, cut across this bump, get in between those two windows here which I pointed out, and then go back over here next to this window. Sometimes I put these little wood chips as support if the agate is angular, just so it gets a little more friction and really can clamp into the wood, so it's not shooting out when there's like too much pressure hitting from the clamps. But it seems all fine now. I got it in the way I would like to cut it, and that's already a good sign to get a good agate. I mean, still an interesting piece with the different chambers. In fact, it's actually pretty interesting with the different chambers. You can see these sections of the host rock or inclusions really change the pattern in this piece. And of course, I'm a little bit sad that the front window didn't really continue to go in, but you can also see that the front banding probably really already cut off just after a few millimeters, because you can see nothing of the same banding right back here on the side. And if it was going to continue, then you would still see some sorts of this purple and pink banding. So I think it really just cut off and was in the very side of this piece. So I think it's still a very interesting piece. I'm definitely going to get it polished, and you'll be able to find it on my website. This is another pretty perfect example how a lot of these Purple Passion agates are. It's just like a relatively slim seam with a lot of hose rock areas attached at top and bottom. It's got nice windows on both of the sides. I have to cut in between those two windows and cut across here, and then try to avoid this area right here where it's windowed as well, and just cut like this. Oh yeah. Wow. It is a very beautiful piece and unexpected too. I mean, really interesting color change here in this piece. It could be that it's caused by a healed fracture line that created this change of color, but overall just a really beautiful specimen here with the deep purple saturated color in the bottom area, and then this brighter color up to the top. So I'm very pleased with the outcome of this piece. Really weird, interesting shape of this. Let's call it a nodule, although it's more like a seam type of an agate. You can see this large chunk here is probably host rock. So you can also really feel it in like the weight distribution of the piece. That's just a lot more heavy in this area where there's the solid agate. So I decided now that I will rather go for a big picture and decide that I just say I'm not going to cut through the biggest volume, and rather have two halves where the banding is going to be all complete. Oh yeah, good piece. So I think in this case I did the right decision, and it turned out to be a beautiful specimen. Great chromatography. This half almost being split in half with the dark and white sections here with a little bit of pink in this area. Not really any significant fractures going on, so this is really a winner for sure. And I think I can be pretty happy with the result, and I don't regret cutting it, not the other way. This is going to be the toughest one so far in order to make a decision. You can see it's another kind of the seam type that is just entirely windowed all around the entire specimen. So I really just have the choice of looking where I can cut through without interrupting most of the banding. But I think I will just cut a little further down to the side, so I get a larger portion of agate. So this will be about the cutting angle that I'm going to get then. And I will sacrifice a little bit more of the banding, but I don't get in the more heavy fractured area where I can see more of the lines running through. So this should be a little bit more spared by fractures and give me two relatively full banded faces. It's in, there is nothing else I can do. So let's pray to the agate gods and just hope for the best. Wow, so different. What a strange piece right here. Just very different from what I expected. You can see the pink color is surrounding the entire rock, and now that I can see inside, there's pretty much none of this saturated pink color left. It's a fantastic contrast with the dark purple and almost black color, the host rock inclusions and the white banding. Great color contrast. And what I'm thinking now is that the pink color actually came from a mineralization process that transported the pink color through fracturing lines, and usually you can see a lot of times that there's color changes around fracture lines that have been healed, and that could be that the pink color has just been deposited in those fractured and rehealed areas, and inside you can just see the virgin agate without these color changes, and all around maybe it has just been mineralized and gotten these pink color. Otherwise I can't explain why it's pink all the way around but no pink color inside. So very interesting and unique experience with this specimen. I'm about 99% happy with how I plugged it in. I'm never really gonna be happy cutting through any window areas, but I think in this case it's really the best sacrifice I can make in order to cut through the biggest volume, with the hope that most of it is not just going to be host rock but also agate actually being formed inside, I'm a little bit afraid, like I said, of this druzy area that's narrowing down, but I think it's as perfect in the vise now as it can be. So we're gonna lower it down to the saw blade, test if it's sitting on it. It is not. Turn on the oil and rip it through.
Oh, wow. Wow. That is a really, really good one.
There is some hole stroke, but not as much as I was afraid of. And what a fantastic piece this is. Just gorgeous, super saturated purple color with this pinkish white banding surrounding it, and then these red hairline. I don't know what it is. It's like, it's not fractures, but it's like red color hairs that are going through the agate, coming seemingly out of nowhere. Also, the agate is just almost perfectly intact on the sides, so cutting through the window was actually not big of a deal in this case, since the banding is still mostly complete. And I think this is really a fantastic piece for a Purple Passion agate. Another just absolutely fantastically windowed specimen. You can see just incredible banding with this such intense purple color. This is so good with this dark banding and the white contrast surrounding the entire piece. So I tried to cut it right next to this corner here, so across this section, and right over here where this window is ending, to just catch as much of the banding as possible, because you can see it is just going to narrow down here towards this side. So I hope I will still get a little bit of this banding at least that's hiding in the center of the specimen.
Still a fair amount there.
It's got this really beautiful black and white contrast. Of course, you can see all of these little hairline fractures, but overall, I'm actually quite pleased how much of the agate has been staying. However, if you feel like I did mess it up because the very center purple banding is not there anymore, which is a little surprising because I can see the white banding just around it is still here in the center. So maybe there's also just some sort of color change that happened further inside of the nodule. But however, if you feel like I messed it up, you still have the chance of dome polishing this fabulous looking side. If you purchase this piece on my website, it will be available right now as you check it out. I chiseled off this entire area here, so it was a big chunk here that came off, and also just in this specific area to see how far the broken window is extending below the calcified area on the surface of the window. You can also see it here in this area. But basically there's one big window on this side and another big window here on this side, and I'm just thinking if I could cut straight through, because there was just so much hole stroke here in this area that I just didn't like as much, and was hoping there could be a little more voluminous agate below there, and I just tried to get a little more of the hole stroke away to see if the agate is like extending its volume here in this area, but it seems like it isn't, so I will just cut right through here, through the middle of the specimen. I think it's sitting in there beautifully. The only thing I'm a little worried about is like following up this fracturing line, because I'm losing it somewhere over here, and I just hope it's not taking a turn over here. But other than that, I think we're pretty much good to go, and now it's just hoping for the best.
Oh, wow. Wow. Wow, that's a good one.
Look at how gorgeous this piece turned out. The beautiful eye in the center of the banding, just gorgeous pinks and purples. The contrast is insane, and also just so neat to see the little sections of the seam reaching down into the hole stroke like pillars supporting the entire top part of the nodule. Overall, just a really spectacular specimen. This is for sure the highlight of the day. Yeah, and now let's go ahead and look at all of the pieces again, see what we've been cutting and how happy I am with those. I am very happy with the result. Overall, the Purple Passions are just so unique and great to cut for a change. Like this contrast and color intensity of purples and pinks is just, you don't get this to see it any other place in the world. Something you have to be aware of is that even when they're showing like fantastic windows on the outside, it can just change so quickly with the amount of hole stroke that these agates are hosting. But overall, I'm really satisfied. I think there's two absolute killer pieces that I've been cutting. That's this one piece here with this really bright and intense purple in the center with the red fine lines, and of course the last piece is just so unexpectedly nice. And I mean, where does the eye even come from? Like, there's no indications of any tubes or anything from the outside that would indicate that there could be an eye coming. So this is definitely the surprise cut of the day, and of course also the most valuable piece. It's so heavy and big that there's also a ton of money caught up in the rough rock, and overall I'm just very excited to cut this material. I hope you enjoyed it. I also already have a couple previous sessions where I've been cutting Purple Passion Agates. This is the last batch of pieces I had overall now. So also make sure to check out my website if you want to grab any of these rare items for your collections. I don't think there's a lot of these available on my website anymore from the previous sessions, but all of these are available right now. As you finish the video, you can head right over. If you enjoyed the video, leave it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments which agates surprised you the most, and if you would have maybe cut any of these pieces different than I did. I'm always welcoming any feedback back towards anything that I'm doing. Also, if you feel like there's anything about my channel that could be improved, we are always welcoming any feedback from the viewers to increase the quality of our content. So any comment is welcome. I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that yet, and I'll see you very soon again